Well, hello, this is Cindy at Ask Cindy Connector Live. Make sure that you follow me on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Really quickly, I'm going to plug StreamYard. So if you are on this broadcast, make sure that you go to Ask Cindy Connector Live to comment. And you're also going to have to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. So both of these networks marry and we could see your comments. And if you are a small to medium-sized business, definitely think of StreamYard for your upcoming video podcast. And also a big plug to National Day calendar. Today is Heavenly Hash Day, Tater Tot Day, and Groundhog Day. So a little bit about the show. About 10 years ago, one of my friends started calling me Ask Cindy Connector because I was passing the letter referrals between our friends. And about 3 years ago, I started Ask Cindy Connector, where I'm sharing different events of my friends, any kind of promos that my friends were having for the business. And 2 months ago, we started going live. And today, Casey Eberhart is in the house again. We're talking about networking riches, which is happening this weekend. So for most of us, we know about you, but there's some who don't know anything about you. So tell us a little bit about your story and why did you start Networking Riches?
Yeah, absolutely, Cindy. Well, thank you so much, first off, for having me on the show. And if you're new to the show, welcome to the show. We appreciate you being here. So, Cindy, really how this all started is back when I was a kid, my grandfather taught me that always give more value than people expect and everything will work itself out. And I found myself utilizing that philosophy all the way through growing up. And as I was growing up, I was an entrepreneur. I did everything from sell candy out of my locker in junior high school. I worked at McDonald's. I then ended up working at an amusement park and ended up becoming the general manager of that amusement park. And it was really all based around a fundamental set of skills that I practiced literally from being young all the way to moving to Los Angeles, working in the film business, being afforded amazing opportunities. And what I realized was at the end of the day, most people in a networking environment don't have a plan, don't have a formula, don't have a system. They're not on purpose. They have no intention. And so they show up at networking events live or on Zoom and really kind of flounder. And so many businesses today rely on word of mouth referrals. And there's the gap. The gap is I need referrals. I want referrals. I'm going to work for referrals. But in the environments where those referrals are happening, they don't have a plan. And so when I talk to people, it was like, look, I'm not really getting the value out of it. People are dropping out of networking events. People are stopping to go to live events because they just don't feel it's worth it, right? And I'll put that in quotation marks. It's worth it, right? So several years ago, I said, you know what? How is it that every time I walk into a room, really just using some skills and some a plan, a formula, if you will, how it is that in a shorter amount of time, I'm being given more referrals than pretty much anybody inside the room, being asked to speak and exchange opportunities and being elevated into a role that most people just don't have. Like, why is that? And so we started breaking that down. And what I did was I took all of that and distilled it down into a workshop. And this workshop is an ongoing, evolving process called Networking Riches. And what's super cool about the one coming up this weekend is we've done this event a bunch of times. We have it super dialed in. It's a lot of fun. You walk out of there with a skill set that nobody can ever take away from you. I can tell at any event if somebody's been through the course or not. And our folks that have gone through it across the board give we have so many testimonials that we don't even know what to do with them all, which sounds like a really good problem to have. But it's because so many people come out of that event and be able to create a networking return on their investment, whether that's time, energy, money, and resources. And so this weekend, what's cool is now that we've kind of got that perfected, now this weekend, we're going to do like an encore version. And the reason why, Cindy, is we had 312 people register last week, 2 weeks ago, and only 120 of them had the opportunity to show up. So that was a big gap. So we said, hey, we need to go back to the people that wanted to be a part of it, that for whatever reason couldn't. And then I just said, look, we're going to open it up to everybody. So here we are. We've got a bunch of new stuff. We're going to talk about Clubhouse on this one. We're going to have more breakout rooms. We're going to have more hot seats in this one. And we're just going to have a lot of fun.
Well, you know what I'm about to say. So I don't have an Android.
You
So
don't
what do
have an Android, or you do have an Android?
I mean, I have an Android. I don't have an iPhone. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
here's my suggestion to all of you that have Android and you're wondering what Clubhouse is. Go get an iPhone. And I say that not joking, right? I say that not joking. And here's why. Yes, they will eventually open up Clubhouse to Android users. However, as entrepreneurs and as business owners, right, if your customers right now are hanging out on Clubhouse and you're saying, oh, well, I can't get on Clubhouse because I have an Android, then you've got two choices. Either give up that customer to your competitor who has gone out and got an iPhone, or get an iPhone. Right? And that's really kind of those are the options, right? Right now, there is a ton of business being done on Clubhouse. And there's a whole group of people that are like, I only have an Android. I don't want to get an iPhone. That's cool. You get to say that, right? But then you don't get to complain when somebody with an iPhone that is in Clubhouse starts taking your customers away. It's just them's the facts, right? And Cindy, to your point, right? I'm a Mac guy. I run all my software, all my computers are Mac based, right? But there's one single program that I found that I believe will help me 100x my YouTube channel. And that's what I'm growing right now, right? So I found a software, but it only works on Windows. So I had two choices. Choice number one is cry and get mad and write them an email and say, why don't you make this available for Mac? Or figure out what that program is worth to me monetarily and then go see if I can solve that problem by buying a quick little laptop. So I'm just buying a crappy little Windows laptop for no other reason than to run one singular program that costs $19. Because I'm not willing to give up on what the benefit is of me running that program. So go get an iPhone. That's a long-winded way of saying for all you Android folks to go get iPhones, right? And I do not own stock in Apple yet. No, go ahead.
I will work on that because I just spent $1,200 on the Android, and it's time to change over. I am going to look into iPhones.
You invested $1,200 in an Android, and I'm not saying. And look, this is a great point. I'm not saying that you switch up your entire platform and your phone and all of that. What I am saying is for folks that are into podcasting, they're coaches, they're speakers, they're on TikTok, they're in the podcast and the audio consumption model, it might be worth going on eBay and buying an iPhone 4 for $50 or 5 for $50, hooking it up to Verizon or the lowest price you can, just for the sake of being able to be on Clubhouse. Now, I have heard this, just as a side note, that if you have a iPad, you can get on Clubhouse. Now, I don't know how any of that works. I'm not that technical, but I have heard that if you have an iPad, you can use Clubhouse.
Oh, that's a good idea. And I could also do on a discounted version too, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As entrepreneurs, our job is to manage risk and reward, right? Sometimes we have to look at things and go, what's going to provide us that return on that investment, right? And if I said to you, Cindy, you could be doing this video in Clubhouse right now and reaching hundreds of more people than what you're reaching right now, at some point you have to make the decision, or you have the opportunity to make the decision of saying, not really worth it, or what do I have to do to invest to scoop up some of those traffic? I mean, we're in the early days of Clubhouse, and the reality is, I mean, I have one scenario already where I've seen screenshots where there's somebody that's made $1 million so far selling a $47 book on Clubhouse, right?
Wow.
So,
and I got my book coming out this year too. So Deborah Thorne's helping me with that.
Oh, awesome. Deborah Thorne, the Information Diva, is absolutely fantastic. She's one of my favorite people. Love it.
Definitely. So tell us a little bit more about the breakout rooms. This is one of the most amazing parts of this event.
So in the breakout rooms, so we have two different things that make our events unique: breakout rooms and breakthrough zones, right? And the breakthrough zones, let's call those hot seats, right? But the breakout rooms, because we're teaching networking, right? We're going to break down how do you even know who your customer is, where do your customer actually hang out, and a formula of what to do before you go to an event, during the event, after the event, the follow-up, and then all the way back to the beginning and follow through. Well, we know that the fastest way to learn something is to try it, right? So every time we kind of train something, I'm going to train it, and then I'm going to throw you into a breakout room and let you practice it. And then we're going to come back and we're going to train a little bit more, and then we'll go into a breakout room and we'll try it. And I have to tell you, just one little example, Cindy, and I know that you were at the last one, so you know this, but there is a technique that you can use when you get off of a Zoom or out of a live event with your cell phone and creating a video. I'm just going to tease you with that. By the end of Networking Riches, you will have practiced this one skill at least 5 times over the weekend. And we have people that are right now, we're 2 weeks out of the last Networking Riches, that are emailing me and Facebooking me and basically saying that one thing alone was worth $10,000 to $50,000 for their business. So we're going to practice it. And then we do hot seats. We call them the breakthrough zone, but we really take individual business owners and put them up in a hot seat and have them share with us their business. And I work with them along with my my cohort, Lee, who's going to be dialing in from Sydney, Australia that day. And we really kind of help that business owner get unstuck, move their business forward, give them different creative ideas in how to build and grow their business inside of whatever platform they are. So those 2 things, it's super fun, right? I mean, it sounds like, oh my gosh, I've got to spend 2 days learning how to network, but you're actually going to be networking at a networking event.
Yeah, and I just have to thank you so much. I've been to 2 of these so far, and I can't. Matter of fact, let's see, Julie is on the line right now. Julie Fallon.
Oh, wow.
I'm actually going to be on her LA radio show here coming up in about a week and a half.
Julie talks money. She's an amazing, I've known Julie for many, many years. She's absolutely fantastic. Her show is super fun to be on. I've been blessed and honored to be a guest on her show. I've known her, like I said, for a decade and a half. She's absolutely amazing.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just so grateful for this. So why not attend this? So basically, it's just your time. And Super Bowl doesn't start till 3:30, so I'm good.
Yeah, it's funny. We did it, and then somebody said there's some kind of sporting event that happens Sunday afternoon, and
Yeah.
I guess it's a soccer game, I guess is what they call it, or maybe it's football or something. I don't know. I'm not really a sports guy, so yeah, we will. This is the first time I've heard that it starts at 3:30, so we'll definitely have you out. Definitely have you out by then for sure.
Is there any other nuggets that people need to know about? I'm going to open up my website here.
Look, because I don't have to travel, because I don't have to travel a staff, because I don't have to pay hotel rooms and lunches and all of that. And it's an encore, which means it's a workshop, meaning you're going to get me a little bit more raw and uncensored. We're going to try some new things, move some things around. We've got some secrets and some surprises planned. It's free. So you can come as Cindy and I's guest. All you have to do is click the link below and register. It's free to register. We go from 8 a.m. Pacific time to about 2 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday. And we will have a blast. And I will say this. I usually say this at the beginning of every event. And it really is true. And I think, Cindy, you'll be able to agree. And that is that when we come together, when we first get on Saturday morning together, so far, we've found that everybody's strangers. We don't know each other yet, right? However, by Sunday afternoon, before the Super Bowl starts, we will be a big family. And there will be referrals passed. There will be business connections made. You will walk out of there understanding Oprah's formula and how she became the most powerful woman in the world. You're going to understand who to talk to at events, what events to go to, how to show up on Zoom differently and more intentional than probably what some of your competitors are doing, and really walk out of there with, it's a fun weekend. Look, we're at home. We're still in COVID crisis. So come hang out with us. We'll have a blast, and heck, you might even learn something.
So one of my takeaways from this event is, I'm just going to touch again on the breakout rooms. I've made so many great friendships, and one in particular is Avi. So he is a small business owner. He has a printing company, and we actually talk about 2 or 3 times a week. So we're building that rapport. So thank you so much for that connection. I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, that's and here's what's really cool, Cindy. We hear that all the time. Like I wish I could fake getting surprised by that, but that's not really a surprise. That is the rule rather than the exception. And here's why, Cindy, I believe that is so powerful. And that's because both of you were at an event where you were able to take away a different skill set or a different way of listening, a different way of looking at the other side and what that other person is about, which allows you to deepen that relationship and that rapport much, much quicker than if you had gone to another live event or another Zoom and you don't really know what to say or who to say it to, or you both don't have that come to the table with that common purpose. And I think that's what makes this so, so very exciting.
I'm so, so excited. So in closing, we have about 4 minutes. Is there anything else you want to tell my audience about this event?
You know, look, at the end of the day, we've all heard this a million times that the 5 people that surround you are what you're most likely like, right? I know there are many people watching that have gone to Zoom after Zoom after Zoom after Zoom. And maybe even now you're going to a morning coffee shop and it's frustrating. You don't know what to ask people. You're an introvert. You don't know really, you kind of just show up and we've kind of just assumed now that the business is going to come to us. Well, here's the thing. It ain't, right? And because of that, sometimes it's just about taking a couple of days and really looking at a solution from a different point of view. Looking at a networking event, in this case, with a different set of lenses can unlock and crack a code that most people will never unlock. And so what this event really does is put you in a position to save time, make way more money while you're networking, and creating impact and building the network around you in a way that the other folks just aren't. They're just not. And even on the last one, there were a couple of people that are fairly well-known people that a lot of people will know. And there's a section in there, for example, where we talk about what does your Zoom background look like? And we took a couple of pretty high-name people and broke their Zoom backdrop down and was like, look, here's how we could tweak it to make it even better. And within 3 or 4 minutes, they've completely changed how they show up or what the perception is of how they show up on Zoom meetings, right? So you're going to pick up a ton of stuff. I know you're just sitting at home getting ready for the Super Bowl anyways. So you might as well come. Like I said, it's free. You can come as our guest and we'll have a blast together.
It's definitely something that everyone needs to do. I always talk about at the beginning of the year about a business bucket list. This is huge for the business bucket list. And all the amazing people that they're going to connect with, like Julie, Melissa, Stephanie Massman, so many great connections through this amazing platform.
Yeah, it's actually really funny, Cindy. I mean, I watched the show and it's kind of funny to me on some level, and on some level it's sort of like, yeah, and I almost blow it off. And that is that, let's see, how do I say this without making myself sound like a jerk? It's very obvious to me when you have a guest on the show that has been through Networking Riches and one that has not.
Wow.
And I can spot them. I can spot them at networking events. I can spot them on leaderboard of company sales organizations. I can spot them in how they post on Facebook. They stick out like a big giant red thumb. And so it's a huge testament to, I think, sort of what people take away and how they implement things, in the sense that I can tell. And like I said, I watch the show, and it's great when I get to see people like Melissa come on here who have been through Networking Riches already. And she owns a networking event. I mean, she owns a networking group with multiple chapters all over, and she shows up to Networking Riches. Right? It's just, it's not me. I'm just a goofball that clicks the slide deck and has a lot of fun. But guys, you're going to learn things that even if you think you're an amazing networker, then if you're an amazing networker, then you should definitely show up so that you can meet some other folks that are open to collaborations, joint venture partnerships, and looking for connections and ways to connect with influencers like yourself. So it's great if you're a beginner, it's great if you're an introvert, and it's a great event if you've been around the block a few times.
I want to plug one more person because he has been so amazing and he's been a great part of this show. We always talk about how our mess becomes our message. Mr. Drew Berman. What do you have to say about your friendship with him?
I love Drew. Drew's a great guy. Drew was on Networking Riches the last time around with us, and he's fantastic.
And it's all because our relationship, our 10-year friendship on Facebook has evolved into so much. Being a part of our platform, you know, our Pay It Forward platform and our greeting cards and gifts. I'm so grateful for you. And because of you, I actually started this show. Thank you for challenging me to do that.
I love it. Well, it's a great show, and you know, keep up the good work and keep up the good fight and keep connecting folks. And the more that you can help those folks get connected, you'll be the one in the aftermath that people remember as the one that was really the relationship glue and the relationship bond, for sure.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to put you in the green room. I'm going to close the show, and I'll see you there in just 1 minute.
Awesome, guys. Bye. See you this weekend.
Well, there you go. Make sure that you check out this event this weekend. You could actually go to the chat here. You could actually go straight to my business card. There's a link to register for Networking Riches. I hope to see you very soon. And next on the show, I have my friend Chad. He's going to show us this amazing business tool that you could add to your marketing budget. This is Cindy at Ask Cindy Connector Live, and we'll see you at Networking Riches.